Let's create a new viewpoint and call it Visual Concrete Syntax. Activate the new viewpoint. Nothing has changed as it inherits from the existing viewpoints. Let's create a view for entity by right-clicking on the entity metaclass and select Add View. A default view is created in the current viewpoint. Entity instances are now represented according to the new view. The view is applied to all instances selected by the OCL predicate, that is all the entity instances, yellow in the model. Instead of the metaclass identifier, we can also use the metaclass name. A view has several aspects. A JSX template specifies the instance representation. The Style tab permits to customize the CSS styling, colors and much more. Events are not used in this notation. The options permit some fine-tuning. Customize the entity template now. Let's add the view for attributes. The view have to be customized by removing the border and other elements. The result is a graph in which entities have attached attributes. However, we would like to have the attributes listed inside the parent entities. This is done by specifying in the Option tab that the attribute views as a field. Now, we have to query the model to retrieve all attributes of the entity. The default node is a Jodl pseudo component that will select the view whose predicate will be satisfied by the past abstract syntax fragment, attribute in this case. We remove now the background from both the entity and attribute views. We add again the lines separating the entity name from the attributes. We want to select for each attribute its type among those defined in the metamodel by the type enumerator. This is done with the Jodl select component. On the upper left corners the attributes are replicated. To fix this, we duplicate the view for model in the default viewpoint and customize it. On line 40, specify that only elements of rootable metaclasses are represented as children are represented in their containers, as an entity. Now, we define the representation for relation. Simplify and restyle the view for relation. Now, let's specify in the template that an edge between the left and right entity must be given. Edges are specified by Edge Jodl component. It is important to make sure that all the needed information are in place because a relation definition takes several steps and only at the end it fully conforms to the metamodel. An edge requires a number of parameters: the view to be used, a unique identifier, the source and the target node. Syntax error notified. Now let's characterize the edges in such a way they can represent also the cardinality as in many ERD-based notations. To customize edge appearance, let's clone an edge from the default viewpoint and move it to our syntax viewpoint. Let's call it edge relation. Change the view in the edge specification in the relation view. Now, let's decide which style the edge should receive. Now we create an edge view for each different kind of cardinality starting from 1 to 1. Once we are done, we modify the name view in the relation view in such a way the edge view is selected according to the cardinality value. Now we are almost done. The last simple step is to set the head and tail for each different edge view. Jodel has predefined shapes, more Camnay added by providing the SVG path. Now our entity relationship diagram DSL is complete. Additional features include code generation and in the case of notation with dynamic behavior semantics, that permits to simulate models. I hope you had fun.